the Upkeep for Monday, December 28th, 2020.
That's right. It's all of the magic news you need in 10 minutes or less.
All right, the news this week, while slim, is very uplifting, which I say will be a wonderful palate cleanser to end the year of 2020.
So very, very true. First up, the 2021 Judge Conference promos have been announced for January through April, and they are Nicol Bolas and the Gitrog Monster.
Yeah, so of course these are only available to judges who attend this conference, but they're so cool. We wanted to show them off. Nicol Bolas looks really, really cool, flying through the air, snarling, but the Gitrog Monster is my personal favorite. A big, fat lump, and it looks like Innistrad, sitting in Innistrad, just like with a terrifying look on his face. Oh, he is from Innistrad. Okay, so that makes sense.
Look at his giant tongue.
Yeah, I know.
That's disturbing.
It's a little disturbing. But if you're
Spooky.
fans of these cards, those Judge promos will exist coming up later in 2021.
Next up, Legendary Squirrel is finally here. Maria,
So of
how
course,
do you feel?
This news, which was immediately tweeted at me, thank you everybody, made me so happy because I, like many of you, have been waiting for a Legendary Squirrel to make a Squirrel Commander deck around, and finally it is here, coming with Kaldheim. Toski, Bearer of Secrets, is 3 and a green for a little 1/1 Squirrel at rare. This spell can't be countered, so get wrecked, blue decks. It's indestructible as well. It attacks each combat if able, and it says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Wow, Maria. And what a cute little squirrel it is.
Toski is so cute. I especially like the alternate art here on the showcase frame, where Toski is not, I wouldn't really necessarily call Toski cute in the showcase card. I would call him a formidable squirrel.
Yes, fierce.
A fearsome bearded squirrel with runes on his tail, which apparently in Norse mythology, the squirrel was a messenger who ran up the tree to talk to the gods from the people, which is really neat that they included it there on the tail as a nod to that legend as well.
That is very cool. Maria, are you going to get this specific card frame?
Yes.
For a commander?
100%. And Squirrel deck is finally going to come together as like my very first commander self-built deck. Toski, Bearer of Secrets. Let's go. Will this card be good in any other format? I don't know.
Do you know what? Only time will tell.
Good point.
Time will also only tell what Mark Rosewater's list of Kaldheim teasers mean.
Yeah, so he does this for every set. He puts out a list of 20 or so cool things coming from the set with kind of an air of mystery around them. This time for Kaldheim, he says, be on the lookout for a card that allows you to kill someone with poison. What?
Ooh, poison. A horse spirit.
I love that one. Quote, you may search your library and or graveyard for a rune card. So runes.
Maria.
Yeah, they'll be here. I knew it. I knew
You
runes
guessed
had
it.
to be in the set, and sure enough, they're going to be present in one way or another.
Sacrifice 5 treasures.
Wow, treasure is apparently coming back in some way. And an introduction of a creature type that players have been wanting for years.
Ooh, I wonder what that is.
What have you been wanting for years, Megan? I've been wanting a Legendary Squirrel, but that already existed. Like, Squirrel was already a creature type.
I've been wanting a reprint of Treasure Cruise.
Okay, no, that does not count. Does not count. It's not creature.
Creature type boat.
Yeah, vehicles also back in Kaldheim mentioned in this article from Mark Rosewater too.
That's right. Finally, the original art for Valkyrie Harbinger. Halbringer. Did you?
Wait, hold
Harbinger. It is Harbinger.
Yes.
I was like, what is this word? Sold for $13,000.
Holy cow. Congratulations to the artist, Tran Win. This is her first Magic the Gathering card art as well, which is really cool. And selling it for such a premium. This is a card from Kaldheim. If you remember one of the early previews, the 4/5
and this
Angel
art
Cleric.
is really cool.
I love it.
I love
has,
it.
Like,
Yeah,
snake
it's great.
hair? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's like bound up in silver stuff. I don't know. It's great though. Very, very cool. So congratulations to her on that sale.
And a nice little kind of button here on our real news of the week here before we go is a post on Reddit, which I thought was just a delight, which was a misunderstanding on the Magic Reddit Magic Reddit account that said, I asked my parents for a nice deck box for Christmas. There was a miscommunication, and then a picture of a Rubbermaid box that goes on your deck.
It's great. It's huge. It's enormous. It's like in the back of a truck.
Look, you could fit a lot of Magic cards in that thing. So the parents, like, were they really wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? It's just some nice bulk storage for you. So because we were a little light on news this week, we also decided we're going to wrap up the end of the year with some of the top news items from this year.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened this year in Magic the Gathering despite the global pandemic, and in some cases because of the global pandemic. The first news item that we are choosing as one of our top news stories for the year was, of course, the organized play changes due to COVID.
That's right. So we were swapped to a 2020 partial season for all of organized play instead of having like the 2019-2020 or 2020-2021 season.
Yeah.
They just kind of like abbreviated it,
Well, this
culminating
is a
in the
tiny one.
season grand finals.
How did you feel about everything being online, Megan?
You know, I miss some of it, and some of it I don't mind.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That is a
Like,
definitely
right,
good way to put it.
In the future, I wouldn't mind if not everything was something that you had to travel to.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think that we should go back to some amount of travel, but maybe, maybe a little bit of a mix of it.
Yeah, and knowing how to, run these tournaments online, adopt the invention of MTG Melee to run online tournaments, basically anybody who wants to, was pretty cool and a great thing that got added this year and was birthed out of this year, in fact.
Yeah. Next up, some other organized play changes where we saw Eric Froelich, Jessa Stefan, and Emma Handy leaving Rivals, all for different reasons, and Austin Bursavich being added.
Yeah, so lots of OP shakeups this year in 2020. The other big news item is, of course, the year of the bannings.
The year of the bannings. For the second time in a year, it's the year of the bans. And so, are you ready, Maria?
Okay, let's go.
I'm just gonna knock them all out real quick. Here we go. We had the companion retcon. In standard, we saw banned Omnath, Lucky Clover, Escape to the Wilds, Uro, Wilderness Reclamation, Growth Spiral, Teferi, Cauldron Familiar, Agent of Treachery, and Fires of Invention.
Holy cow.
That's standard. I'm not even halfway through. Historic. Omnath, Teferi, Wilderness Reclamation, Field of the Dead, Agent of Treachery, Winota, Fires of Invention, Nexus of Fate, plus Oko, Once Upon a Time, and Veil of Summer were moved from suspended to banned. Brawl, we saw Omnath, Teferi, Drannith Magistrate, Winota, Lutria, and Golos banned. Pioneer, Inverter of Truth, Kethis, Walking Ballista, Underworld Breach, Modern, Arkham's Astrolabe, Once Upon a Time, Mox, Opal, Oko, Mycos, and Vladis, Pauper, Mystic Sanctuary, Expedition Map, Legacy, Luris, Zerda, Underworld Breach, and Vintage Loris.
Wow. What a list.
What a list.
Just to see it all out there at the same time is very overwhelming.
It really, really is. And a last couple of things to wrap up the year. Secret Lairs saw a lot of action this year. There was the Walking Dead crossover, the really cool Bob Ross lands. Plus, we've seen the overall plan for 2021.
Yeah, overall, I think these Secret Lairs can be counted as a huge success for Wizards of the Coast, despite some of the controversial blowback from stuff like the Walking Dead crossover, which had exclusive cards. I think overall, people think they're a great product for the whales or the biggest consumers of Magic, and they seem to be a huge hit and a money earner for Wizards of the Coast.
That's right. Speaking of money earners, last up, Magic saw double-digit growth for Hasbro in the third quarter, and tabletop is still bigger and growing more than online.
Yeah, that was super surprising to learn earlier this year in the middle of a pandemic, but people still love cracking packs while they're trapped at home.
Yeah, they sure do. So what a year for Magic, man.
Seriously, it just a wild roller coaster of a year for Magic the Gathering.
What a year for the ban list.
And for the ban list.
Biggest winner of 2020, the ban
bans.
list.
Thank you, everybody who's been listening to the Upkeep in 2020. We'll be back in 2021, giving you all of the news you need in 10 minutes or less, or a little bit more, every single week. Check out our full-length podcast, Good Luck High Five, this week. It's our Crimbies episode, which is our MTG Awards episode, where we give awards to a bunch of cards. It's a really fun way to wrap up the year, so take a listen to that if you are needing some joy in your life at the end of 2020, which has been, like we said, quite a roller coaster of a year.
That's right. Support this show and all the other work that we do over at patreon.com/GLHFmagic.